Novels.
Who is it? Look out!
Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
The Life and Legend of Wyatt Earp, starring Hugh O'Brien.
Ned Buntline was a celebrated author of dime novel thrillers. He was also a friend and admirer of Wyatt Earp, to whom he presented the long-barreled Colt 45 known as the Buntline Special. But every time their paths crossed, Mr. Buntline got himself in trouble and dragged Wyatt into it.
Say, ain't you Mr. Ned Buntline?
Buntline? Never heard of the fellow.
Well, what might your name be?
Smith. Arnold Smith, sir. My good man, will you see that my luggage gets to the Cosmopolitan Hotel? Thank you.
Mr. Buntline.
And for me, there's only one author in the world to write my story. The king of the dime novels, Ned Buntline. I want to avenge my husband's death. I want to set tons of dynamite under Arizona territory and blow up the whole rotten mess.
And what an idea for a book. The Widow's Revenge. You like that for a title?
You think it would sell?
Sell. Like a mother-lode gold mine, my dear lady. First a book, and then magazine articles, then newspaper series. That is, providing you can document this expose. Because my readers demand authenticity.
I have my husband's records and ledgers. Names, dates, the amount of cash paid for graft, all the facts on the 10% ring.
Excellent, excellent. And then for contrast and drama, we'll tell your personal story. Against her wishes, she was the Queen of the Outlaws. Hey, that's not a bad title either.
Well...
of course, my dear lady, I realize that your personal life was above reproach. I'm merely suggesting that there might have been, temptations.
Yes. Yes, there were.
Of a romantic nature, perhaps? Well, I'll handle that delicately and with good taste, because Ned Buntline's heroines are often tempted, but they always fight for and preserve their good names.
I'm not worried about that.
Well, we'll start to work tomorrow morning, eh?
Oh, I'd rather talk business right now. How much will there be in this for me? Money.
Oh, yes, money, of course. Well, I was thinking in terms of $5,000.
Not enough. Not nearly enough for the risk I'm taking. Well, I know too much. If my husband's enemies find out what I'm doing, they'll gun me down. Oh, I'm terrified. Please, please take me to New York.
To New York? Oh, my dear lady. Oh, confound that waiter. Will you excuse me? I told you I was not to be disturbed.
Good evening. I'm Marshal Earp.
Good evening. I am Arnold Smith, sir. And this lady is my sister.
Ma'am?
May I ask the reason for this visit, sir?
Hello, Mr. Buntline.
Hello, Wyatt. Oh, dear.
And aren't you Mrs. Amy Jones?
What if I am?
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Now, confound it, Wyatt. My meeting with this lady is legal and it's respectable, and I may remind you it's confidential.
Yes, we don't wish to be disturbed.
I'm sorry, but I won't be able to oblige. You'll have to come along with me.
You mean you're arresting me? On what grounds?
Giving false information to a police officer.
Just a moment. Pay him off and tell him nothing.
Pay Wyatt off? Wyatt Earp? This man is the quintessence of integrity and honor.
Well, let's not argue with Mrs. Jones. She's had men killed for less than that, Mr. Buntline. I'll see you later, Mrs. Jones.
Well, I'll see you later, too. I will not stand for this because this... And this novel she wants me to write about her husband will sell over 500,000 copies. I can see it on the stands now. The Queen of the Outlaws. An authentic story of Arizona's vicious 10% ring.
Well, now, how do you know it's authentic?
She has proof in writing. Her husband kept records.
There are no records. Thad Jones was too smart for that.
And why must you interfere? Here I am doing a public service, but oh no. You, my old friend, want to arrest me on some trumped-up nothing.
Mr. Buntline, please. You are not under arrest. I am just trying to help you.
I owe my readers that book, and they shall have it.
All right, go ahead and write it. You'll both be killed.
And I shall not be frightened, and I shall not be swerved, and I shall not... Killed, did you say?
Mr. Buntline, Thad Jones was murdered. He was shot from ambush by his own men. Now, if the 10% ring ever finds out that Mrs. Jones aims to expose him in a book, your book, well, it would happen just like that.
Oh, what? I'm trapped.
Trapped?
My publisher advanced me $10,000 on this book.
Well, give it back to him.
I've already spent it, and I'm in debt.
You haven't changed a bit, have you, Mr. Buntline? Look, you want to take my advice? Forget the whole thing. Leave town tonight and write yourself another novel.
Wyatt, you don't seem to understand. There's much more at stake than just a book. Why, from the first moment I saw Amy.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Wyatt, she's so alive. She's so exciting. She's the woman I've been waiting for all my life. And what's more important, she needs me. She's scared to death, Wyatt, and she wants me to take her to New York.
But the 10% gunman will follow her wherever she goes.
Nonsense. Once we're out of Arizona territory, we'll be safe.
Mr. Buntline, you keep on with this, you'll be safe, all right. 6 feet underground. Now, Mrs. Jones, I want the names and descriptions of the Tucson hoodlums that might be sent here to kill you, like they killed your husband.
You've no right to question me.
As long as you're here in Tombstone, it's my job to see that you don't get hurt.
But I'm not staying here. Mr. Buntline has taken me to New York, and I won't let you talk him out of it. Gunslingers don't scare me, especially here in Wyatt Earp's town.
Why don't you forget the whole thing?
Not a chance. I've waited too long to meet Ned Buntline, and when he takes me to New York, I'll have everything I want. I'll be rich.
Mrs. Jones, Mr. Buntline hasn't got a quarter to his name, not 1 quarter.
After we get to New York, I'll change all that.
If you get to New York. Right now, Mr. Buntline couldn't buy you a stagecoach ticket to Benson.
Mr. Earp, I don't think you understand me. Put yourself in my position. I'm a helpless widow alone in Arizona territory. Am I to be deprived of my right to live? Please, please give me that chance.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do.
Did anyone ever tell you you're a handsome man, Mr. Earp? Very handsome. Why don't you protect me? I'd enjoy that.
All I want are the names of those gunslingers.
Is that all you ever think about? Well, you're wasting your time and mine. Good night, Mr. Earp.
Good night, Mrs. Jones.
Amy Jones knows too much and she talks too much. Get rid of her.
I still say it's better to wait till she gets out of Tombstone.
Afraid of Wyatt Earp?
I've done too much for you 10%ers to take that kind of talk.
You'll take it and like it.
We pulled tougher jobs than this before you knew which end of a gun did what. Now head on into Tombstone and get it over with, or we'll do it for you.
As a rule, I eat very lightly. But sharing breakfast with you seems to stimulate my appetite.
Ned, take me to New York today.
You are so direct with things. I've never met a woman like you.
There's a stagecoach leaving for Benson this afternoon. We can catch a train from there.
Well, I must say the prospect is intriguing, but I don't think a gentleman should suggest...
Are you a gentleman?
Well,
Well, I'm no lady. I'm a woman.
Marshal, come on over.
What's the matter?
There are 3 gunslingers from Tucson on the way up here. You get in the bedroom.
No, give me your gun.
You'd be more dangerous than the gunslingers. Now get inside there.
If you need any assistance, you call on me.
Sure. Now, as soon as they knock, you answer. You get in there, too. Take that side. No.
Mrs. Jones?
Who is it? Look out!
Get him over to Dr. Goodfellow. Are you hit?
No, but I think I'm going to faint.
Not you. Come on, stand up.
Amy!
Oh.
Amy, my brave, my beautiful. Yes, I will take you away from all this.
Oh, Ned.
Yes. And Wyatt, don't you try to stop us.
Get moving.
Just a moment. I'll take my gun back if you don't mind.
You get that when you leave Tombstone. It's against the law to carry a gun in this town. Here. I suggest you read that. Move.
Ned, I can't stand it here another minute. Can't we leave now?
Well, the truth is I'm a little short of cash. I'll have to telegraph to my publishers for some more money.
By then it may be too late for both of us. There'll be more gunslingers.
Amy, what else can we do? Oh, what a time to be financially embarrassed.
Don't worry, darling. I'll get the money.
But how?
You just leave that to me.
Well, Doc Goodfeller says he's gonna live.
Yeah. In Yuma prison for the next 20 years, along with all his friends.
20 years.
Unless, of course, you're willing to cooperate with the law. Now, who sent you here?
It was our own idea.
Nobody in Tucson had anything to do with it, huh? How much does Amy Jones really know about the 10% ring? Who else came with you?
Why don't you just lock me up and leave me alone?
I never seen a man so anxious to get locked up before. You, Wyatt?
No, I never have. We'll lock him up, all right. We have a nice, clean cell for you.
Pay you $1,000 for the story, Mrs. Jones? Well, that's impossible.
I don't think so, Mr. Dameron. Especially after all my husband did for you. Now let's get down to cases. How would you like to have written proof that Wyatt Earp accepted bribes?
From a 10% ring? Well, I don't believe it.
My husband was too smart to involve the ring. He made Earp sign receipts for loans from the Bank of Tucson. And you know who owns that.
10%ers.
They sent me here. They're out to trap Earp one way or another.
What about those Tucson gunslingers that tried to kill you last night?
They came here to get Ned Buntline. They know he plans to write a book exposing the 10% ring.
Why do I have to pay for evidence against Earp? I'm working for the 10%ers.
The crowd in Tucson figures you've made enough money. It's time you paid some of it back.
Well, take a day or so for me to put my hands on that much cash.
I want the cash now.
You drive a harder bargain than your husband did.
So I've been told. The money, please. We are on our way.
But that's $1,000.
It's only the beginning.
I don't understand. A few hours ago, you were desperate. You didn't know which way to turn.
Until I remembered how much my story was worth.
Oh, you didn't sell that to somebody else.
Only a little piece of it. To Dameron, the publisher of the Nugget.
But the Dameron paper is backed by the 10% ring. Wyatt told me all about it. That's the same crowd that murdered your husband and tried to kill you.
I took care of all of that. When Mr. Earp reads tonight's newspaper, he's going to wish he never heard of Amy Jones.
What are you talking about? What's Wyatt got to do with it? Just what did you sell to Dameron?
Just a few receipts signed by Marshal Earp, proving that he accepted bribes.
What?
You know, he's a very crooked man.
I don't believe you.
And there are plenty more where those came from. Well, whose signature is that?
It's Wyatt's handwriting, all right. All these years, I thought he was an honest man.
Every man is honest until it comes to money. Are you packed?
Huh? Oh, yes.
Then get us on that stagecoach to Benson. And if it's filled, rent a carriage. I'll meet you in front of the hotel with all the luggage.
But, Amy, I...
Hurry!
Wyatt! Wyatt, how could you do it?
Do what?
Take bribes from the 10% ring.
What bribes?
Now, don't make it worse by trying to deny it.
Let's go inside.
Thank you, Porter.
Now, what is this?
Wyatt, you took money from the 10%ers, and Dameron's going to publish the story. Now, I saw the receipts that you signed with my own eyes, and it was your handwriting.
And you believed it. Somebody forged my signature, and I have a pretty good idea who that someone is.
Well, who would... Oh, no. No, that couldn't be. Amy wouldn't do such a thing.
Now, forgery is just one of her many accomplishments. I know her record. She's been in and out of prison half her life.
Not Amy. I don't believe it. She's one of the most wonderful women I've ever met, and I will not permit you to malign her.
Mr. Buntline, I don't understand you being taken this way. You're a man of the world. Can't you see that you're being used? Now, if you take her to New York, she'll bleed you white and drop you like a hot horseshoe.
Oh, yes? Well, then why should she give me all this money that she got from Dameron?
Can you catch a fish without bait? This would make a good piece of evidence.
Evidence?
Against Mrs. Jones. And as far as Dameron is concerned, he can print that story, and I'll sue him for libel and slander. You still don't believe me, do you? All right, I'll prove it to you.
Wait here, Mr. Buntline. Well, what's happening? What? Amy!
Take care of him.
Amy! Amy! Oh, thank heaven you're all right.
Where have you been? What about the stagecoach tickets?
Before you go anywhere, suppose we all go over and have a nice little talk with Mr. Dameron. Marshal Wyatt Earp accused of taking bribes from the 10% ring. Well, now, Mr. Dameron, I'm mighty happy you printed that story. It ought to be worth at least $100,000 in any court. Not to mention 5 or 10 years in jail for libel, slander, and collusion.
I've got the receipts right here, and you signed them. I've seen your signature 1,000 times.
And so has Mrs. Jones.
It's really a very easy handwriting to copy.
Amy.
Well, that's the way it goes sometimes.
Well, what about my $1,000?
Well, now, the only way you're going to get that back is in court. Of course, I might be willing to drop charges, providing you made a donation to some worthy charity, like the Ladies' Aid Society in Tombstone, for instance.
Well, whatever you say, Marshal.
Mr. Dameron, you burn all those papers. Come on, Mrs. Jones.
Well, Marshal, what's going to happen to me? I've got to get out of town.
Compliments of the Ladies' Aid Society. This ought to be enough to get you far away from Tombstone.
$100? I got 1,000.
10%. Being a member of the ring, that puts you right back where you started from. Goodbye, Mrs. Jones.
Gad, Wyatt, it could have been so wonderful.
Why don't you use your imagination and write a book about her instead? Be a lot safer.
Say, that's a great idea. You know what I'll call it?
What?
The Wicked Widow.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail. Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
Come on, Tabor, we'll have one more drink. Well, howdy. What are you doing sitting there? You're too pretty to be sitting out here in the cold all by yourself. Come on inside, I'll buy you a nice little drink, huh? Warm you up.
Please go away.
Well, now, that ain't very sociable.
Please.
Now, you ain't too good to have a drink with me, are you?
Don't touch her.
Why not? You go away and leave her sitting here all alone, why shouldn't she have a drink with me?
Get away from her.
Hiram, peace. Please. Just come on.
Peace. Say, where are you all from? True light. You're some of them true lighters. What are you doing around here?
That'd be none of your business.
Oh, I guess it is. I don't like true lighters, and we don't want them around these parts.
Take your hands off me.
You get out of Tombstone and don't come back. You hear me?
And if I don't, what will you do?
You'll do just like we done back in Kansas. We'll run you out.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
The Life and Legend of Wyatt Earp, starring Hugh O'Brien.
In the frontier West, men fought over many things. Differences monetary and romantic, political, racial, and religious. Both good men and bad were caught in this violence and sometimes brought to their doom. And often their quarrels became the problem of Wyatt Earp.
I never see nothing like it, Marshal. I swear, if we hadn't pulled him off, he'd have killed Odie. Like to tore out his windpipe as it is.
You want to tell me what happened?
My husband just got angry, Marshal, because that man spoke to me.
Offer her liquor. Try to touch her. He's got no right to do a thing like that.
Maybe not. But that's no excuse for you to try and kill him either.
He was drunk.
Sometimes my husband doesn't realize his own strength, Marshal, when he's angry.
You want to make a charge against him?
No. But he'd better make none against me, or I'll charge him with molesting my wife.
That ain't why he done it, Marshal. They're true lighters.
Now, what's that got to do with it?
Well, you heard about them, ain't you?
Yes. It's a small religious sect up in Colorado someplace.
Fanatics. I've seen enough of them and their troublemaking, and I told him so. Told him we didn't want no part of them around here.
Oh, you spoke for the whole town, did you?
For some, anyways. I ain't the only one that feels this way. Anyways, that's why he jumped me.
He threatened us.
How?
Said he'd do the same to us like they did in Kansas. He's one of them.
He'll do nothing of the kind. We're not going to bring up that old fight again. Now, anybody of any faith who wants to live peaceably in Tombstone can do it, and I'll see to it. You understand that? Now, you go on about your business and stop causing people trouble.
If they settle down around here, there'll be trouble, all right. You wait and see.
Mr. Grant, I advise you to curb your temper. Next time, it could get you into real trouble.
Are you threatening me too, Marshal?
I'm not threatening, I'm warning you. What he said is true. There are others here who might feel the same way he does.
For instance, you, Marshal?
I have nothing against any group. Everybody here has the same rights, but I don't like troublemakers, no matter who they are.
Come, Selma.
You needn't worry, Marshal. We won't make trouble.
Wife, you hear me?
Kind of late to be traveling, isn't it? We got a couple of nice hotels here. Good campsite just outside of town if you're planning on staying all night.
Where we go and where we stop isn't any of your business, is it, Marshal?
It might be.
Well, you can rest easy, because we're not stopping here.
Who was that?
A couple of true lighters by the name of Grant.
Leaving Colorado? Traveling all this way alone? That ain't like them. They usually stick together.
I know. I got a notion to do a little checking up.
Hey, Elmer! Hey!
Howdy.
What's going on here?
Moving into town. No more grubbing for a living for me.
You mean you finally took my advice and give up on that cow pasture of yours?
I didn't give up on the ranch. I sold it.
Well, what fool you foist it off on?
Fool by the name of Grant. Him and the missus already moved in.
You mean that true lighter?
Oh, was he a true lighter? I didn't rightly notice.
You mean he paid you enough you didn't want to notice?
Well, what's it matter anyways?
You know what it matters. You're the fool, Elmer. You let one of them in, the whole tribe comes. Taking up all the land, pretty soon there ain't no room for no one else. You know how it was back in Kansas and Colorado. Now all that land ain't enough for them. They're moving down here into this territory, taking over piece by piece, and you helping them.
I didn't mean no harm, Odie. I mean, just one.
One of them's one too many. Well, he won't stay.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'll see to it. That house of yours made out of wood, ain't it? And the barns?
Now, Odie, listen. They got a right.
Not while I'm here, they ain't. Anyways, it's no concern of yours. You got your money. You just leave it to me and a few others that feels like me. You just keep your mouth shut. Get up.
Marshal?
Yes, Mr. Bates, what can I do for you?
I don't like to say nothing, Marshal, but I really don't feel the same way Odie does about him. I don't think the same way at all.
What are you talking about?
The true lighters. Now, just because they got different ideas than we do, don't mean there's any harm to them.
What true lighters, Mr. Bates?
The folks that bought my place up at Cow Creek Canyon, Grant's the name.
What about them?
Marshal, I think you better do something. Odie's, well...
What about Odie?
He's going out there today and burn them out.
Grant, this is your last chance to get out alive. If you don't come out now, we'll burn the house down around you. You hear me? All right. You asked for it.
Hold it, Artie! Drop those torches! Move back!
The rest of you just sit easy.
You ain't gonna talk us out of this, Earp. We're citizens of this territory, and we say these people's got to go.
You got some legal reason he can't settle here, all right, but don't try to burn him out. You'll answer to the law.
You're only one man, Earp.
You want to kill me? Because that's what you're going to have to do.
All right. We'll see they don't stay. Nobody will buy from him. Nobody will sell to him, not even food. They sure can't grow much around here. And there won't be nothing you can do about it, Earp. It'll all be legal.
You're just talking, Odie. There are not enough people that feel the same way you do about it to make it stick.
I'll get enough. And we'll see to it no more true lighters get in here. Nobody'll dare to sell to him.
Why do you hate him so, Odie? Why can't you live and let live?
Ask them that, Marshal. Live and let live. You want to know why I got this hate for him? You heard of the Fraser wagon train? And Jericho Canyon? You want to hear that story again, Marshal? 4 wagons of men, women, and kids was trapped and massacred in Jericho Canyon by Arapaho Indian and true lighters.
Only a few fanatics, Odie. The other true lighters condemned them for it as much as anybody. That was a long time ago, and it's best forgotten.
Forgotten? I'll never forget, Marshal. One of those wagons was mine. My wife and kids. I'd have been with them, only I was out ahead scouting for water. I'll never forget, Marshal. I rode back and saw what the Indians did to him. All of them. My wife and... It was men like this Grant that set the Arapahoes on him. Who gave the signal. Men they trusted, men they thought had come to save them from the savages. But they only came to trick them into giving up the fight, and then they... I'll never forget, Marshal. Now you get out. Or you'll answer to me. I don't care about your law.
What are you going to do now?
Defend myself. I got a right to. If he comes back, I'll kill him.
Hiram, was it like he said at Jericho Canyon? Was that the way it was?
What are you waiting for? You got more right here than the others.
I have a couple of questions.
What questions?
Why are you here? Apart from your own people. It's almost like you were trying to hide out in this miserable little place. This is no garden spot. You'll never grow your apricots and alfalfa here. And you'll never have your own kind of church here because no other true lighters will ever come here. What is it, Grant? You trying to run away from something?
Get out. You've got no warrant, and I don't have to answer your questions.
I think you do.
Why?
I don't think your name is Hiram Grant. I think it's Hiram Greener, and you're wanted as the leader of the Jericho Canyon Massacre.
What makes you think that?
I have a reason. Now, you better come along with me.
You can't arrest me just on suspicion. It isn't legal. Besides, you've got no charge against me.
There's a charge against Hiram Greener.
But if I'm not him, it'll be false arrest.
I'll take that chance. I do have a charge against you. Attempted murder. You tried to dynamite 6 men.
Defending my home.
That'll be up to the jury. Now, let's get your horse.
Drop the gun, Marshal. I won't let you take him. We've had enough of persecution. Drop the gun.
guess this answers my question. You Hiram Greener, all right.
What makes you so sure?
I wired a description of him to Marshall up in Denver. He's sending somebody to pick up his trail and positively identify him.
Will we never be able to stop running? Will they never stop hounding us?
It's not persecution this time, man. This is the law. He's wanted to answer for Jericho Canyon.
But that's unjust. It wasn't like that man said. Was it, Hiram? Hiram, I want to know. Is all this true? Did that man say it the way it was at Jericho?
Selma, go into the house.
I'll tell you, man. It was the truth, all right, only he didn't tell it as badly as it really was.
You shut your mouth.
For a long time, the True Lighters believed what Hiram Greener and his men told them. The massacre was all the work of the Indians, and they couldn't get there in time to save anybody. The True Lighters didn't want to believe that some of their own people could do such a thing. But you can't keep a thing like that a secret. For one thing, the Arapahoes refused to take all the blame for the massacre. And gradually, people learned the truth.
I never did. He told me different.
You believed him because he was your husband.
Wife, I told you to go into the house.
No. I've got to know this.
Why do you suppose Greener had to run and hide from his own people? Because they condemned him for it. Today, the True Lighters want him to stand trial for murder. In their own court.
Get up.
What are you going to do with him?
Take him up in the hills and get rid of him.
No, you can't do that.
They'll never find him. Nobody will trace it to me.
But it's murder.
Murder wouldn't bother him. It didn't at Jericho Canyon.
That wagon train came from Kansas. They were the same breed that scourged us and burned us, that drove us out into the desert. It was the Lord's will that they died down to the last generation.
The Lord's will. On your orders.
Yes, mine, as his servant.
Hiram.
You call it that. But it was only your own hate. Even your own people drove you out of the church.
Hiram, no!
Get up. Get on the horse.
So you'll silence me by killing me. But what about the others? What about the man that's coming from Denver?
He won't know where to come. You didn't until today.
He'll find you.
And if he does...
You'll kill him, too, huh? You'll deal with him and all the others that come after him the only way you know how, by violence. But is that the Lord's way?
Hiram, don't do this. Don't.
I told you this is not woman's business. Stay out of it.
Not this time. Please, for me, don't do this.
Do you realize what that would mean? They'd take me back to stand trial.
If what you told me is true, you have nothing to fear of a trial.
And if it isn't?
Then your soul's lost already.
Wife, leave these decisions to me. It's enough for you to know that I'm doing this for you as much as for me.
Is that true, Hiram?
Don't you know it's true? Have I not been a faithful and dutiful husband to you? Now go into the house. Get on your horse.
Thanks, ma'am, for trying.
Forgive me, Hiram.
Get down. This'll do.
Yeah, it oughta. You plan to shove me off, huh? Dead or alive?
I'll make good and sure you're dead. But no bullets. Nothing to say it wasn't an accident.
No bullets, huh? What would I be doing way out here?
That's for them to wonder.
I was last seen with you.
Oh, I've got a story to tell them, don't worry. About how you took off chasing after some passing hoodlum or other.
They won't believe you. They'll find you. They'll discover your hiding place, and at the very least, you'll have to keep on moving.
Get over to the edge. Get going.
If they find my hands tied, they'll know.
They won't find them tied.
Hiram, do you think you can really run forever from the wrong you've done? No bullets, remember? I'm sorry, Matt.
Perhaps, as he always said, Marshal, must have been God's will. So you could be saved and he'd not have another life on his conscience to take with him.
I have you to thank for that. I do.
The only time in our life together, I went against his wishes.
She found us not a half mile from the ranch. Just after we had met up with Odie and his bunch.
I'm sorry for you, Mrs. Greener, and so are the people of your church. If there's anything they can do for you, you let me know.
Will they remember our people? Any of the good things he did?
Well, I can't say that, because he's done a terrible damage to them.
I know. He can never be forgiven it, I know. Except maybe by God. And by me. Because whatever else he was my husband. And I loved him.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be told.
Here's the grub you ordered, Marshal.
Oh, thanks, Mike. What do I owe you?
With your breakfast, $6.
All right.
What are you John Laws doing? Using canvas straps instead of handcuffs now?
No, Mike. That's a straitjacket. I had to take a poor fellow to a special hospital today.
Straitjacket? How does it work?
Well, here. I'll show you. Now, you put your arms through there. Here. Try it on.
Oh, no, not me.
Here, you. How about you? Try it on.
Hey, what are you trying to do? No.
Here, try it on. That's right.
No, take it off. Now let me loose!
Hey, easy, friend. I didn't mean no harm.
You ain't putting me in no special hospital. Don't anybody lay a hand on me.
Cully, what have you done?
I ain't going to no special hospital.
Come on. We're getting out of here. And don't anybody try following us.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
The Life and Legend of Wyatt Earp, starring Hugh O'Brien.
In 1881, treatment of the mentally ill was unheard of, and the law seldom recognized insanity as an excuse for defendants charged with crime. Thus, when Wyatt attempted to help the outlawed Dre brothers, he risked his job and his life.
Trouble?
Yeah?
Marshal Pritchard got shot in Charleston. Dr. Goodfellow's bringing him in for surgery.
Is he hit bad?
Yeah, be a miracle if he lives.
Who shot him?
Stranger, first name McCully. Travels with his brother. It sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does, don't it?
I knew it. Dave, Cully, Dre. Wanted by the Texas Rangers.
Must be pretty good with a gun if they wounded 2 Texas Rangers.
Look, while I'm talking to Dr. Goodfellow, you get loaded up for the trail, huh?
Right.
Wyatt?
How's Marshal Pritchard?
Critical.
Is he conscious?
Off and on.
Did you see this Cully Dre shoot him?
It was incredible. Happened just like that. In my opinion, this man, Cully Dre, is unbalanced.
You mean he's insane?
Well, I couldn't diagnose without examining him, but from what I saw, I believe he's suffering from some kind of brain injury.
Well, how would you tell that?
The classic symptoms of brain injury are muscular weakness, foot-dragging gait, blinding headaches, and outbursts of hysterical behavior. Now, if Cully Dre fits this pattern, he's not responsible for his actions.
Yeah, but in the eyes of the law, he's considered a criminal.
Yes, and it's wrong. That's the tragedy with cases of this type. He probably doesn't even remember shooting Pritchard.
Can he be cured?
Well, possibly with surgery.
Doc, if I brought him to you, would you help him?
Oh, of course I would.
I'll bring him to you.
Wyatt, be careful. In his condition, Cully Dre is more dangerous than any gunslinger you've ever faced.
You ain't tricking me, John Law. I'm gonna fill you full of lead!
Dave,
we're safe now, just you and me. Here.
Now, wait a minute, Wyatt. You've got to listen to me. I'm not going to let the two of you go after the Dre brothers alone.
I do what Wyatt tells me, Mr. Mayor.
The minute I found out they were wanted by the Texas Rangers, I telegraphed their headquarters, and I just got their answer. Now, you listen to this. Use all force available to capture Cully and Dave Dre, dead or alive. If latter, hold for extradition. Here, look at it yourself, White. Our posse can track them down in no time.
The last report had him heading for the Dragoon Mountains. Do you know what that region's like? They could spot a posse a mile away.
Cully Dre is no ordinary gunslinger, White. He's not a rational man. And that brother of his, he'll stop at nothing to help him.
Well, I am banking on just that. Before there's any more bloodshed, I want to try talking them out.
Talking them out? Well, they're not going to listen to you.
Dr. Goodfellow says that Cully Dre needs medical attention. He thinks he can cure him.
Well, maybe so. Maybe so, providing you have a chance to take him alive.
Look, unless I am forced to, I don't want to have to shoot down a man who's so sick that he doesn't know what he's doing. Here.
White, will you listen to me? It's too risky. Now cover yourself with a posse.
With a posse, the letter's going to start flying for sure. And what would that prove?
It needn't prove anything, White. It's your duty to uphold the laws, not make them.
Well, it's about time the law recognized what makes a man start shooting without reason. Now, if I can't talk the Dre brothers out, the posse's welcome to shoot him out.
Get down, Cully.
Why are we on the run this time? What happened?
You shot a U.S. Marshal at Charleston.
John Law? Why? Did I hurt him bad?
About time to find out. Come on, let's get in the cave.
No, Dave.
What's the matter now?
No, we'll get cornered in there. We must never get cornered.
Come on, we gotta get out of sight. Can you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't see it too good. My eyes fog up on me.
We don't have to see, just listen. The law is after us. There'll be a posse. We gotta get inside the cave. It's safe there.
No, it's dark in there. I don't like the dark.
Now quit it. What kind of talk is that for a grown man?
It's darker all the time.
You need sleep. Here. Take a swig of this. It'll stop the headache. That's enough. That's enough. We gotta make it last.
Gotta make it last.
Trail's still fresh. Passed by here about an hour ago.
We'd like to find them before sundown.
Come on now, Dave, now let me go!
Can't you stay put?
It's too dark in there.
All right, all right. Quit your jabbering. You can sleep out here.
Don't leave me, Dave. You're the only one I can trust. Huh? Is it always going to be like this, Dave?
I guess so.
No!
Hush up!
Thinking bad things. I'm all the time thinking bad things.
Think good things, Cully. Think of Mom and Pop and you and me sitting around the house after supper.
Mom?
Yeah, that's right, Mom. Remember how she used to sing songs to you? Remember?
I doubled back.
Hi. Horse tracks lead off here.
Yeah, that's cave country. Should have figured that's where they'd be headed.
What'd you do that for?
I heard something.
You were dreaming.
Pump them up yonder. Still think we can talk them out?
We can try.
They'll pick us off like pigeons.
Hey, look. I told you I heard somebody.
That's doing it.
Hold your fire. Dre? Dave Dre, I want to talk to you.
Let's see you drop your guns first.
Fair enough.
No one. Do as he says.
Hold it. That's far enough. Where's your posse hiding?
No posse. They're John Laws, Dave. Don't trust them.
I said hold it. All right, come up slow.
I'm Marshal Wyatt Earp, Tombstone. This is my deputy, Mr. Gibbs.
That's far enough. I've heard of you in Texas, Earp.
I'm seeing double, Dave. How many John Laws are there?
2.
Oh, I'm dizzy. My head hurts.
That's the way Dr. Goodfellow said it would be.
Who's Dr. Goodfellow?
He saw the shooting in Charleston, said it didn't make any sense.
Cully drinks too much.
According to Dr. Goodfellow, that's not all that's wrong with him.
Yeah?
Has he ever been hurt? Hit over the head with a gun barrel, creased by a bullet, maybe?
Why would a John Law be asking questions like that?
Because he's trying to help you.
Oh! Cully, that's all right. Just take it easy. He's got a leg cramp from riding so far.
How'd he get that scar on his head?
I ain't saying.
Dave, your brother's sick. Unless he has a doctor's care, he's going to get worse.
You're making this up.
Dr. Goodfellow thinks that he can cure Cully. Give him a chance and come back with us.
To Tombstone? You think I'm fool enough to fall for a trick like that?
You'll be a bigger fool trying to take care of your brother by yourself.
I'll manage.
No, you won't be able to control him. And the longer you wait, the worse it's going to get.
No! It's been like this ever since we left Texas. Up until then, the law had no cause to bother with us. We were working, saving money, planning to get our own spread.
You want to tell me how he got that scar?
A bullet from one of the Rangers creased him.
You shot up a town in Texas, didn't you?
You know how cowboys are on payday, out for a good time. Cully was just hurrahing up and down the main street, shooting in the air. He didn't mean no harm. Next thing I knew, the Rangers was slinging lead. When I saw Cully start bleeding, we shot our way out, and we've been running ever since.
And you're going to keep right on running until it's too late. Until Cully kills 3, 4, 5 men. Is that the way you want it to end?
Suppose that marshal he shot don't pull through. No matter what the doctor says, they'll have Cully swinging at the end of a rope.
The law means justice. And I say no court can punish a man for a crime he committed when he was out of his head.
Davy. Davy.
All right, Herb. Bring the doctor back with you. Alone.
You'd be better off in Tombstone.
It's my way or nothing.
You give me your word you'll be here when we get back?
We'll wait till sunup.
Agreed.
to the horses. I'll go talk to Dr. Goodfellow.
All right.
I'm sorry, Wyatt. I couldn't go with you even if I wanted to. Marshal Pritchard's still not out of danger. Needs a lung tap every hour. Can't you persuade Dave to bring his brother here?
Not a chance. If I'm not back there by sunup, they'll be long gone.
Well, Clum will insist you take a posse with you this time.
Yeah, and that'll mean gunplay.
Well, you have no choice. The town's been on edge all day. If you don't bring the drays back, the posse will. Well, what are you going to do?
I don't know.
Wyatt, I've defended you a dozen times when people thought you'd gone soft on criminals, but I cannot defend you this time.
I'm real sorry.
Now, you're not sorry. You won't tell me where the Dre brothers are hiding, and you went out there and made an unauthorized deal with them, and it's your duty to bring them in.
All right, I'll arrest him. But you keep that posse out of it.
I'm not going to make you any promises, Wyatt. I got another telegram from the Texas Rangers, and they're sending a man here. The safety committee is ready to ride.
Yeah, I know. I saw him milling around outside.
You still think you can bring the Dre brothers in, huh?
No, not with a posse. It's simple enough to start shooting, but that isn't going to help the cause for justice. Now, you do believe in justice, don't you?
Now, you know I do.
All right, then. You send the vigilantes on home, and you let me handle the Dre brothers alone.
Wyatt, you're making a mistake. Bad mistake.
Mr. Gibbs?
Stage driver told me that he saw Marshal Earp and Deputy Gibbs riding out of the west side of the lagoons just about sundown. I think the men we want are holed up out there. Well, we'll give them a half-hour start this time, and we'll trail them. All right, men, see to your horses.
I got an awful headache, Dave.
Wyatt Earp promised to bring you a doctor to give you some help.
I don't know about those doctors. They may put me in one of them jackets.
We wait till sunup. If Earp don't show, we ride.
Let's ride right away.
No, I gave my word.
But what if he brings a posse?
Look, don't let him take me away, Davy. Don't let him take me.
No, I won't. Why don't you go back in and get some more rest?
Dave Dre!
That you, Earp? Yes. Leave your guns like you've done before.
You heard it, Mr. Gibbs.
I still don't like it.
Where's the doctor?
He couldn't come. He's trying to keep Marshal Pritchard alive.
Who's Pritchard? Man you shot in Charleston.
Your brother knows. Dr. Goodfellow, try and help Cully if you come back to Tombstone.
That wasn't the deal. We're riding. Cully, fetch the horses.
You'll never make it, Dave.
We'll make it.
Maybe you, but not Cully. He'll die from his sickness.
I won't let him die. He's my brother.
Dave, come back to Tombstone. Let Dr. Goodfellow try and help him. If he proves he's sick, you'll back me up in court.
What about me?
You'll have to go to jail to save your brother's life.
Hey, Dave!
You lied to me.
I didn't order that posse.
Come on, let's get out of here.
The law will find you no matter where you go. Give yourself up, Dave.
Don't listen to him. It's a trick. They're gonna kill you and put me away for the rest of my life.
It's your last chance to help your brother. The marshal's right, Cully.
No, Dave. They're not gonna get you. And they're not gonna get me either.
What? No, Cully! Dave!
I didn't mean it. Mom? Dave's hurt. He's hurt bad.
Hold your fire! Take care of him. I'll get close.
Cully! Cully?
We're taking Dave to a doctor. You want to help him, don't you?
What is it, Doc?
It's a brain abscess under the skull where that bullet creased him. I'll have to operate. Better get ready to help.
Yes. Marshal? If I know my brother, he's scared. Mighty scared. And when he gets that way, he needs me awful bad. Sure. Thank you.
Go on, Dr. Goodfellow.
And because of Cully Dre's brain injury, he was not responsible for his actions at the time that he shot Marshal Pritchard. In addition to my own testimony, Marshal Pritchard has given me a signed statement in Cully Dre's behalf. He feels that he himself was responsible for what happened. He terrified Cully when he put that straitjacket on him. If he hadn't, there'd have been no shooting.
Thank you, Dr. Goodfellow. The court recognizes the marshal's request that the defendant not be prosecuted. Dave and Cully Dre will approach the stand, please. You both realize the seriousness of the charges against you. Under ordinary circumstances, you would have been shot down by a posse, or captured, tried, and on the face of the evidence, been convicted of assault. But due to Marshal Earp's belief and dedication to the true meaning of justice and his plea on your behalf, the court feels duty-bound to reevaluate the law. It is the court's opinion that the law has no right to prosecute a man who mentally is not responsible for his actions. Accordingly, I hereby exonerate Mr. Cully Dre of the charges against him. A decision, I might add, that is unprecedented in Arizona territory. However, the incident that precipitated this unfortunate series of events, the hurrahing of a town in Texas, resulted in the wounding of 2 Rangers. Now, this is still on both your records. Therefore, I remand you to the custody of the Texas Rangers, with my recommendation for leniency. This court is adjourned.
Marshal? Thank you.
Don't thank me. Thank the law.
See what I told you, Cully? He kept his word, didn't he?
I reckon I didn't understand much before, mister, but I do now. Thank you, sir, for keeping your word.
You take good care of him, Ranger.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. and none can deny it. The legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail. Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be told.
Doc, good.
Who is it?
Poor Burke Simpson, rest his soul. There was no need to bother you, Marshal. My friend died of natural causes.
What natural causes?
Too much liquor and a weak heart, I'm afraid.
Probably.
Over here.
Acute alcoholism with congestive heart failure. Should give you something to think about, Holliday.
Yeah. I feel sorry for his daughter. The girl would take it hard. What with her approaching marriage and all.
Mr. Mackey, will you go on over to the jail? Tell Mr. Gibbs to find Miss Leon Simpson. She'll have to take over things.
Yes, sir.
Doc, come here. Take a look at his neck. What do you make of it?
You mean that puncture?
Looks like a needle mark, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Well, what does that mean?
That Mackey's theory was wrong. He didn't die of drink. He was murdered.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
The Life and Legend of Wyatt Earp, starring Hugh O'Brien.
In the Tombstone, Arizona of 1881, murder was not one of the subtle arts. The usual murder victim was either shot or stabbed in the back. But Tombstone had one killer who devised a different technique, and it was up to Marshal Earp to catch this wily criminal before he himself became a victim. You think that old man Simpson was poisoned?
If you want to poison a man, you don't have to use a needle.
Then what was the needle for?
He put air into an artery or a vein with it. That's what Dr. Goodfellow says.
What would that do?
Well, the victim was dead in about 1 minute.
Doctor, your postmortem showing it?
Yes. My theory was right. The air bubble caused a block in circulation and death.
I wonder why the murderer chose such a complicated way.
To fool Wyatt into thinking the death was a natural one?
Well, whoever it was went to an awful lot of trouble for nothing. He's already made his first mistake. He'll make another.
That's right. They generally do.
Do you have anything to go on, Wyatt?
Just that Mr. Simpson didn't care for the young man that was courting his daughter.
Well, it's a lead for what it's worth.
Miss Simpson, I'm sorry about your father.
We'll do everything we can to help.
Thank you.
You feel well enough to answer a few questions?
Yes, sir.
Won't you sit down? I understand you're engaged to Mr. Hal Babcock, the foreman of the Bonanza mine. Did your father like him?
No. But Hal understood. Papa wasn't himself. He was drinking a lot, you know.
Did your father ever threaten him?
Please, Marshal. I can't talk anymore now.
All right. Come on, I'll have Mr. Gibbs take you.
understand this, Marshal. You act like old man Simpson was murdered.
He was.
And you think I killed him?
Mr. Babcock, we're investigating his death. Let's take a look inside, shall we?
Well, if you'll tell me what you're looking for, I'll help you find it. I don't own a gun. There's a knife in that drawer. There's an axe over here. There's some rope outside.
Doc.
Clean with alcohol.
Where'd you get it?
I never saw that thing before.
And how did it get in your trunk?
Well, I don't know. It's not mine. Wait a minute. Has that got something to do with Mr. Simpson's death?
Where were you last night, Mr. Babcock?
I don't have to tell you that.
I said, where were you?
I don't have to tell you anything, and I won't.
All right, then you're under arrest. You know, Doc, I think we got the wrong man. Al Babcock couldn't find an artery with a hard rock drill.
You're right, Deacon. Now tell me why he doesn't give himself an alibi.
I think we better go ask Miss Leon some more questions.
Let me do the asking. I'm not as chivalrous as you are. Miss Leon, do you know you have quite a reputation in Tombstone?
I do?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
In the last year, you've had more dates and men calling on you than any 3 women in the county.
I suppose I have.
Oh, there are quite a few theories about your popularity. Perhaps you have one of your own?
What are you trying to say, Dr. Holliday?
That people gossip about you.
You mean they think I'm bad?
Are they wrong?
They most certainly are, and so are you. Now, will you please get out of my house?
I'm sorry, Miss Lerner. I'm sure the doc didn't mean any offense.
Well, I'm sure he did. I have nothing more to say, Marshal.
That isn't going to help Babcock much.
Help him?
Mr. Babcock isn't being too cooperative. He won't tell us where he was last night.
Last night? You mean you think he killed my father?
Can you tell us where he was?
He was with me.
Well, now, why didn't he tell us that?
I don't know.
Miss Leon, who were the other men before you became engaged?
Ease off, Doc. Miss Leon, I think you need some rest. You've been under quite a strain. We'll leave you now.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Doc? Mr. Gibbs, bring Mr. Babcock out.
Yes, sir.
Doc, you find out who bought this hypodermic. Check with Dr. Goodfellow and the drugstore.
What about that girl?
You stay away from her. I'll handle it my own way. Mr. Babcock, I'm not going to hold you any longer, but I hope that you'll answer me one question before you go.
Well, that depends on what it is.
I want to know the names of the other men who courted Miss Leon Simpson.
I can't answer that, Marshal.
Why not?
Well, let's say I have plans.
What kind of plans?
I might even solve the murder for you.
Oh?
Somebody put that hypodermic needle in my trunk, figuring you'd find it and arrest me.
You realize, don't you, that whoever killed Mr. Simpson is very dangerous?
I'll be real careful.
Mr. Babcock, at least you've been warned.
Thank you.
Follow him.
sure enough smart aleck. He's going to solve the murder for you.
His first logical move would be to go after the man he thinks framed him.
Going to get himself killed, too. He ain't even got a gun.
He can buy one. You keep after him.
Bad about old man Simpson. I understand he got some bad liquor.
Yeah, they didn't get it in here. Gibbons, I want you. Turn around. I said turn around.
But he threw me first.
Shoulder wound, lad. It ain't bad.
What happened?
Well, it's like the boy says. You drawn first.
Get him over to Dr. Goodfellow.
Lord save us, it's Tom Gibbons. Is it mortal?
Nope, just a shoulder wound.
Well, I got a spring wagon outside. We'll haul him in that.
Good idea, Mackie.
Now, easy. Easy, Doc.
Mr. Babcock, you bought this gun with the intention of killing Mr. Gibbons. You came here for that purpose. Why?
Marshal, Gibbons killed Mr. Simpson. Then he tried to frame me for it.
Why would he do that?
Well, you'll have to ask Leon. She'll have to tell you that.
All right. I'll talk to her again. In the meantime, you stay close.
Marshal? What about Gibbons?
It's my business, not yours.
Sure Hal's all right.
Not a scratch on him. But he may be prosecuted for assault.
Because he shot Mr. Gibbons? Well, that's unfair.
Why?
Well, he was jealous of Hal. Mr. Gibbons used to call on me until my father put a stop to it.
Now, why didn't you tell me that earlier today?
Didn't think it mattered.
Your father ever threatened Mr. Gibbons?
When Papa had too much to drink, he threatened everybody who even came near me. Papa didn't trust people. He was just terrible to everyone.
Terrible?
Yes, he'd shout and yell, and we would just chase them all away. I hated him for it.
Why was he so violent about it?
I don't know. I suppose it's because he was afraid I'd get married. Since Mama died, he never wanted to be alone. He didn't want me to leave home.
I see.
I talked to Mr. Mackey about it.
Stable man?
Papa liked him. He tried to make him understand, but it just didn't work. Mr. Mackey was my only friend for a long time.
What about your fiancé, Hal Babcock? Did your father threaten him, too?
Hal was the only one Papa couldn't run off. He used to come right up to the house. Papa didn't like that either. Told Hal straight out he'd kill him.
Thank you.
Marshal, are you going to arrest Hal?
No. Hi, Doc.
What? I heard young Babcock shot Tom Gibbons.
He thinks Gibbons murdered Leon's father and tried to put the blame on him.
Plausible.
But you don't believe it either.
There was bad blood between Gibbons and Babcock. Dr. Goodfellow isn't missing a syringe, and the druggist hasn't sold one lately.
Neither of them recognize this one?
They don't keep records, Wyatt.
Now, let's go on over and talk to Mr. Gibbons. Hello, Doc.
What?
Where's Mr. Gibbons?
In the hospital room.
me see him?
Well, he's pretty weak. He's lost a lot of blood, but I don't see why not. Don't stay too long.
Tom? Tom. Tom, wake up.
Dr. Goodfellow. Dr. Goodfellow.
He's dead. Dead?
Look.
It's the same technique, Wyatt.
That's what I thought. I want a post-mortem.
I could use your help.
Well?
It was murder.
Definitely. No question at all.
We're dealing with a monster.
How many people were here when Mr. Gibbs brought him in?
Oh, a dozen, maybe 15. I didn't count them.
But the outside door and back was open.
Well, then it could be anybody.
I still think that girl knows more than she's told you.
You suspect Leon?
I grant you the needlework isn't feminine, Doctor. But from what I found out, Leon had plenty of trouble with her father and some with Mr. Gibbons.
Well, we know that Simpson didn't like Gibbons. We know that Mr. Babcock didn't like either one of them. Maybe we're being too logical. Maybe our murder isn't at all logical.
Well, logical or not, he might go right on killing.
I think you're right. Now, Miss Leon, I want the name of every man who ever called on you.
I thought you were my friend.
Look, your father is dead, and now Mr. Gibbons is dead. Hal could be next, and then you, and then one of those other men.
Or one of us, why?
Mr. Mackey.
I heard you was here. Now, what's happening here?
Mr. Mackey, they want to know the names of everyone who came to see me.
Now, Leon. Marshal Earp's just doing what we pay him to do.
I can't help that. There's enough gossip already. And Hal won't like it either. He'll get jealous.
Now, what's he got to be jealous about? Heh. He knew plenty of girls before he met you.
I don't intend to make the names public.
Now, you've done nothing disgraceful. Now, you just step right up. You tell Marshal Earp whatever he wants to know.
All right, I'll write the names down.
Good girl.
Here's pencil and paper. Hey, by the way, Mr. Mackey, you're, sort of a horse doctor, aren't you?
Well, there's considerable difference of opinion on that. Of course, I can drench a horse or fix a saddle sore, but...
Did you ever use a hypodermic needle?
Me? What for?
Mr. Simpson died in your stable last night, and today you took Mr. Gibbons over to Dr. Goodfellow's in your wagon.
And you were still there when I left to find Wyatt.
You seem awfully friendly with everybody.
Well, Burke Simpson and Tom Gibbons were friends of mine. What is this, anyway? You're joshing me, huh, Marshal?
No. You had the opportunity.
To kill two good friends of mine. Now, what would I want to do that for?
Nobody said you done it.
Well, I don't even know how they died. Doc here said something about a hyposyringe.
Not a syringe. I said needle.
Well, it's the same thing, ain't it? Did Burke and Tom die of poisoning, you think?
Here are the names.
Thank you.
Is even Mr. Mackey suspected?
Well, it kind of looks that way, child. Now, if you're aiming to put me under arrest, Marshal, I would appreciate it if you'd give me time to do my night feeding and bedding down first.
Marshal Earp, this is ridiculous. First Hal and now Mr. Mackey.
Why is it ridiculous?
Mr. Mackey was the only friend Papa had or even trusted. He was Papa's friend.
Now, don't trial the law, darling. All I'm asking is a chance to feed my horses and hire a relief man.
I won't keep you, Mr. Mackey.
Now, you're being real sensible, Marshal. Come along, Leon. I'll take you home.
I'm trusting you with that list, Marshal.
Wilson. It's a mighty fidgeting puzzle.
What? It could have been Mackey.
Yeah, he made one slip. Said syringe instead of needle. That means he knows something about hypodermics.
And it was too innocent the way he asked about that poison.
But why would he want to kill them fellers? Looks more to me like Babcock done it.
There's that girl, too, Gibbs.
Yeah, that's the point. Well, I'm going to check out this list. Maybe one of them will give me a motive.
We better go with you, Wa.
No. She gave me this in confidence. Mr. Gibbs, you go on patrol. Doc, you go on back to the hotel.
Gibbs, we got a big job to do. You go over to Simpson's place. And I'll go over to Mackey's stable.
Doc, we're gambling on Wyatt's life.
Wrong. Wyatt gambled on his own life when he went out that door.
Gray, Mr. Jack Gray?
That's right. Did I do something wrong, Marshal?
I'm trying to get some information on Mr. Mackey, the stableman.
Oh?
When you and Miss Leone were seeing each other, did anything happen that involved Mr. Mackey?
Yes, it did. He talked Leone's father out of shooting at me.
Mr. Mackey and Mr. Simpson were friends?
Oh, sure. They got drunk together almost every night.
How about Mr. Mackey and Mr. Gibbons?
They're very good friends, as far as I know, Marshal. Mr. Mackey's friends with everybody. Say, you don't think he had anything to do with Mr. Simpson and Gibbons being killed?
Well, I've probably done Mr. Mackey an injustice. I'll go see him. Thank you.
Mr. Mackey?
Mr. Mackey?
Just take it easy and keep your mouth shut. That's right. Drop it on the floor. Take your finger off the trigger. That's right. Just easy. That's right. Now the other one. Where I can see, if you don't mind. Easy now. That's right. Glad you came alone. I got to do this, Marshal. I can't let you arrest me. He was getting too smart. You figured it was me that killed Burke, didn't you? Well, you're right, I did. But Leone's precious Hal is going to hang for it, and Gibbons. And now they'll think he killed you. You're not to be trusted, Marshal. Like I couldn't trust Burke at all. He should have been glad I wanted to marry his daughter. I told him I loved her dear. But he wouldn't listen. Wouldn't listen at all, even though we was friends. He said he'd kill me just the same. But he didn't, did he? Now, hold still. shouldn't have killed him.
Nonsense. I did him a favor. He would have resented being hanged.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be told. Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
The Life and Legend of Wyatt Earp, starring Hugh O'Brien.
I know it may sound foolish to you, but John really does want to quit, Mr. Clanton. He's planning to move to California.
You think you can make a good man out of a killer, an honest man out of a thief?
If he loves me enough, I can. And I'll tell you something else. John hasn't had a drink since we met.
Well, habits are one thing, Miss Mary. But temper in a gunfighter, especially Ringo, that's a horse of a different color.
I don't care what people say. A man can change if he meets the right girl. I don't necessarily say it has to be me. Any nice girl who really loves him. You think I'm a romantic fool, don't you?
No, I don't. I think you make a good, sensible Irish stew. Where's Ringo now?
At his ranch near Galeyville. Why?
It's not important.
But it is important. It sounds like you're planning to make trouble for John and me.
No, I wouldn't do that. I'm hoping for a miracle, too.
You mean you won't interfere?
Ringo is one of Clanton's top guns. Now, if he moves to California, it'll make me very happy, make my job easier. Thank you for the lunch, Miss Mary.
Thank you, Mr. Earp.
Howdy, Ringo.
You passed a law against washing clothes, Earp?
No? Not yet.
I'm busy.
What I have to say won't take much time.
Spill it.
I know about you and Mary.
You ride all the way down here just to tell me that?
You in love with her?
It's none of your business.
Well, let's put it another way. You washing clothes or trying to get your hands clean?
Pick a fight with somebody else, sir.
No fight for me, but I don't think her brother is going to like it so much.
I'll talk him out of it.
Ringo, you must be in love. You aiming to marry?
Any law against it?
No.
Listen, Earp. Mary's the finest girl I ever met in my life. I can't expect her to lead this kind of life. So I told old man Clanton to do whatever he wanted to. Me, I'm pulling out.
With Mary?
She'll take the chance.
All right. I wish you both luck. I always figured you were too smart to stay a gunfighter, Ringo. With Mary's help, there's a chance you may make it.
I don't get it. You and I have been hating each other for a long time, Earp.
I don't hate you, Ringo.
What do you mean?
Oh, sure, you built the bottle. You're too quick with your guns. But maybe now you'll learn to control your temper. You make friends with Mary's brother. Try to convince him you're on the level. That shouldn't be too hard. You convinced me.
It's all over town that my sister is seeing Johnny Ringo.
Will you put that gun... Oh, now, look, Claude, Johnny will be here in just a few minutes, and you can see for yourself. You don't have to protect me from him. Well, for heaven's sakes, he hasn't done anything wrong.
Well, he won't get the chance, Mary. He's no good. A Clanton gunslinger, a rustler, a thief, and a killer.
Maybe he used to be, Claude, but he's changed.
Gunslingers don't change, Mary. Now, you stay away from him, do you hear? I'm not going to let you ruin your life.
It's my life.
Mary, what's happened to you? My sister and Johnny Ringo. Now, is that something for a brother to be real proud of?
Claude, are you going to let me have it?
No. When he shows up, I'm going to kill him.
Now, you listen to me. If you don't give me that gun, I'll go and get Marshal Earp.
Sure. You do that, Mary. You tell the marshal. I'll wait for Johnny Ringo.
He's gonna kill Johnny.
Where is he?
He's in my place. Oh, please, Marshal, he won't listen to me.
What's wrong, Claude? What's the gun for?
Keep away from my sister.
I hope to marry her. She'll have me. Look, I want to be friends with you, Claude. You don't need a gun.
Keep away from Mary or I'll kill you. Say it, Ringo. Say it!
All right, if that's the way you want it.
I'll put a bullet in you just to teach you a lesson.
Give me that.
Claude? Johnny, what happened?
I didn't hurt him.
We heard 2 shots. You fired them?
Yes.
He's a liar.
You're not wearing your guns, Ringo. Where'd you get this?
That's Claude's gun.
You shot it, Ringo?
Yes, sir.
Why not drop it, Earp?
There's a law against shooting at people, Johnny. I'll have to book you, Mr. Turner.
I'll go bail for him, Earp.
Tomorrow. Come on.
Now, don't worry, Mary. The marshal will release him in the morning.
So ashamed for him, Johnny. You were so generous and kind, and
No, your brother's just a boy. You love me.
Yes, I love you.
Then I think we ought to get married right away. I don't trust my luck. I'm scared.
Scared?
Yes. I'm scared of myself. What happens when a gun's in my hand? It becomes alive. I don't control it, it controls me.
But, Johnny, you promised me you wouldn't wear a gun.
And I'll keep my promise. But remember, my name's Ringo. You must know what it means. Even your own brother wanted to shoot me on sight.
All right, then, Johnny, we'll change the name. We'll forget this time. We'll forget everything. Oh, we can be happy, you'll see. Now, don't brood about it. The past is over and done with. And if you're worried about Claude, don't be. I can make him understand. I know I can.
All right, Mary. I know what I'd be in for when I fell in love with you. I want to be just like you want me to be. And I promise you I'll try. Oh. But we'll have to fight for what we want. The 2 of us.
Fight for it.
You think old man Clanton will just let me go with his blessing? If we have a minister say the words and start for California? It won't be that simple.
Johnny, it won't be that simple. All right, Johnny, we'll fight for what we want. But please, not with guns.
What's your hurry, Ike?
Where's Papa?
Inside, eating breakfast.
All right, tie him up. Papa? Papa, Ringo just had a run-in with Claude Turner.
Well, now, ain't that too bad? Killing Mary's own brother. Ooh, that ought to bust it up.
Oh, well, he ain't dead, Papa.
You said Ringo, didn't you?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it myself, but it's true. Claude took a shot at Johnny Ringo, and then Johnny didn't do a thing to him. And Herc took Claude, and he put him in jail. Johnny hung around till midnight with that gal, and then he got on his horse and rode back to Galeyville. Now, I'm telling you, Papa, he's going to hitch up with that gal.
Could be love, could be.
Well, that ain't all, Papa. Johnny's going to sell out his whole spread, and everybody's telling it around that then he's going to move off to California.
Well, he ain't. I need Ringo. He's one of them's got brains in his head.
Well, I told Brocious and the McLaury's over to Charleston like you told me to, but they're keeping their hands off of it. They're all scared of Johnny Ringo.
Well, ain't you?
Well, in a gunfight, sure, but... Well, Papa, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Oh, it is, huh?
Yeah, all the way when I was riding down here, I thought that if we could...
What ways, Ike?
Well, Papa, you could buy him off. Well, now, I know it'd take a lot of money, but, Papa, you could do it.
Joseph Isaac Clanton. You can buy a man off of holding up somebody or killing somebody, but you can't buy a man off of loving somebody.
No, I guess you can't. But ain't it worth trying?
Hush up. I'm a-studying this. Mary Turner and her brother Claude. Ike.
Oh, yes, Papa?
Were they real fond of each other?
Oh, well, sure they are. Dang fool took a shot at Johnny, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I never had a man work for me as mean as Johnny Ringo is, and he gets killing mad. You go find me 4 or 5 saddle trains. Now, I want tough boys, and I want boys ain't ever worked for me before.
Yeah, all right, Papa. Well, Papa, what are you going to do?
I'm going to cool me down romance.
Yeah, Papa.
I'm sorry, sis.
How much is the bond, Marshal?
No bond, I'm turning him loose. He's a lot more sensible this morning.
Will you give Johnny a chance, Claude, please?
I want you to be happy, Mary, that's all.
I know you do. Well, I guess I better tell you about this now. Johnny's asked me to marry him, and I've said yes. If you have any idea of going after him again, you just better keep him locked up, Marshal.
Well, Mr. Turner?
I guess I was wrong. Maybe Ringo has changed.
Oh, he has, Claude. He has. He wants to be your friend. Why, he's going by the mine office at noon to try to talk to you again.
Mr. Turner, passing judgment on another man's character is something I've learned to leave up to the good Lord. Wouldn't hurt you to do the same.
You're right. Well, it's kind of late. I better get over to the mine. I'll see you tonight, Mary.
All right.
Marshal.
Thank you, Marshal.
Not at all. When's the wedding?
Tomorrow. Will you come?
I'll be there.
Bye.
Which one's Turner? We'll ask politely. You wait here, Gus and me'll take him. message for Claude Turner.
Oh, for me?
Yeah, on your feet.
Hey,
You just keep quiet.
who are you? What do you want with me?
We'll explain later, Sonny.
Why would someone throw this in here?
Well, he must have disappeared into the alley. I don't see him.
This is for you.
If you want to see your brother alive, you better take the first stage for Colorado. Oh, this must be some sort of a joke.
Maybe, but you'd better get it straight to Marshal Earp.
Oh, but I...
I just don't know what happened. It happened so fast. We were sitting over there and we were having our lunch just like we always do. And these four men, they come up and they grabbed him and they just took off. I don't know why they didn't want Claude Turner. He didn't have a cent that I know of. They just grabbed him and they put him on the horse and they...
What's that about Claude Turner?
He got kidnapped, Mr. Ringo.
Kidnapped?
Four men grabbed him. We was eating right over there. These two men came out of the brush with 45s and they dragged him over to the others. They put him on a horse and galloped off.
What did they look like?
Gunslingers.
How long ago?
Oh, about 40 minutes. We sent for Marshal Earp.
If they took him from the contention mine, they probably headed for the mountains. There's only one good trail into the Lazy Creek area.
Mr. Earp, will you call in your deputies? Get a posse, do something!
Look, do you want your brother alive? Well, the surest way of getting him hurt is to rush those fellows with the posse. Now, it's a one-man job, and I'll be going out there in a few minutes.
Well, why are you waiting even minutes?
Because old man Clanton is in town.
He's not gonna help. I'm gonna go get John. He'll do something.
No. You keep Ringo away from this. He might lose his temper and try to blast him out. Is that what you want?
He won't go back to his guns. He promised me.
You sent for Ringo?
No, why?
Well, I heard when he left contention mine, trailed them saddle tramps, he was killing mad.
I suppose you set this up.
Being a John Law, you'd have to think that. I got my rig outside and a fair notion where them boys went to. If we was to move quick, we might head Ringo off.
That's our only chance.
Well, why do you want to stop John? He'll get through to Claude and save him.
Judas Priest, girl, Ringo's mad. He'll massacre them boys and your brother, too. Once he gets started shooting, he don't care who he kills.
Better come along. You can handle Ringo. No time to lose.
Now, what's the matter with you?
We ain't far enough from Tombstone to suit me.
Oh, there must be a dozen gullies just like us around here. Herb would have to search them all. Come on, Joe, deal and act like you're brave.
Go for your guns.
It's Ringo!
I said draw. Draw! Draw!
you, what did you do it for? Why? Kill all of them. Aren't you going to stop him?
You won't be hard to find.
Oh, you're all right. Where's Johnny? Johnny? Johnny! Johnny! Did Johnny kill all those men?
He didn't have to kill him.
Claude, please.
Well, I knowed Ringo was due to bust loose, way past due. They did, all right.
Ringo will have a chance to defend what he did in court. These were kidnappers, Claude. You should realize that 4 against 1 are pretty high odds in a gunfight. He faced those odds for you.
He could have captured him.
Yeah, maybe. Another man might have handled it a different way. But Ringo did the only thing he knew. He's a gunfighter, Mary. Mr. Clanton will use your wagon to take her home. You look after her. She'll forget all of this someday.
Thanks, Marshal.
Right, Charlie?
Go. Here.
Too bad, Ringo. I was hoping you'd make it.
Yeah. I gotta get some sleep.
Yeah, I guess that's the answer. You can still sleep. Come on, let's go to jail.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be told.
Tom. Tom, wake up. This is the Marshal. He just wants to ask you a few questions. This is my husband, Mr. Whiting.
Howdy, Mr. Roberts.
Roberts?
That's right.
No, Ben, don't.
Just throw it down there.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
The Life and Legend of Wyatt Earp, starring Hugh O'Brien.
Among the desperate men with whom Wyatt Earp had to deal as Marshal of Tombstone, Arizona, some of the most dangerous were professional bank robbers. In 1881, bank robbery attracted Western criminals who ranked themselves with Quantrell, the James Boys, and the Youngers. And a few of them were just as shrewd and deadly as Cole Younger or Jesse James.
How's Ben feeling, Sadie?
His leg's worse. He wants to talk to you.
Yes, ma'am. Sadie says your leg don't feel so good. Want me to ride into Tombstone and fetch a doctor?
No. Sadie and I are going into town alone.
All right, Ben, if that's the way you want it, but you taking a big risk?
Is that any concern of yours?
Yeah, in a way it is.
What way?
You're the last of the Roberts gang. Now, ever since we bumped into you, we've been hoping that as soon as your leg got well, you'd throw in with us. Well, with you to do the brain work, we could take a bank every week. These Arizona banks ain't never had a real Ralston.
You're a fool. I wouldn't touch you or any of your boys on a bank job.
Now, look, Ben.
Shut up. Give them a couple of $100 for services rendered. I don't want any of you in Tombstone. Head north and go back to robbing stages.
All right, Ben. All right, anything you say.
Pay him. And that's the end of it. So long.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, let me help you.
Where's the dress-up clothes?
In the wagon.
Good. We can change on the way into town.
You feel bad?
I don't ride in a wagon when I feel good. Besides, I'd like to see you in skirts for a change anyway.
All right, you sit down and I'll hitch up the rig.
Now, that's the thanks we get from big-headed Ben Roberts.
I'd sure like to hit one of those banks in Tombstone. Open up Mr. Roberts' eyes a little.
Maybe we will.
See me?
Yes, I do. Did you ever hear the name Ben Roberts?
Ben Roberts? Sure. He's a bank robber, one in Missouri. Why?
He's a patient of mine.
He's what?
Brought to me by his lady friend. Mr. and Mrs. Tom Whiting, they call themselves. They're dressed like city people.
Well, how do you know it's him? Do you know him?
No, but someone pointed him out to me a couple of years ago. You don't forget a man like Ben Roberts.
Oh, you sure know. So he's here in Tombstone, huh?
Got a handsome wife, about 25, I'd say. Blonde.
Why'd he come to see you?
Gunshot wound in the left leg. Some amateur pulled the bullet out, but he missed the bone splinters.
That's just dandy. Roberts is a bank robber, and we got 2 banks. Did he say where he was staying?
American Hotel. I gave him strict orders to go to bed and stay there. I gave him a little something to make him sleepy, just to be sure.
Thanks. He's not wanted in Arizona, but you may have done me a big favor.
Favor nothing. I'm saving myself a lot of work if it prevents a bank holdup.
Well, let's hope it does. You say they're using the name of Whiting?
Watch yourself, Wyatt. Roberts may have a gang just outside town.
Well, that's my hunch, too. I'd feel a lot better about it if Doc Holliday and Shotgun were here instead of in Tucson. Now, I'll see you later. Thank you.
Right, Wyatt.
Yes?
Are you Marshal Wyatt or... I'm Mrs. Whiting, Mrs. Tom Whiting.
Well, Dr. Goodfellow described you pretty good.
Oh, he told you about the accident?
Yes, sir.
I thought you might want to see us.
Well, it's just routine. Dr. Goodfellow reports all gunshot wounds to me.
Oh, I see.
I don't like to disturb your husband, but I would like to ask him a few questions.
Well, he's sound asleep. Couldn't I answer them?
Well, I'm afraid not, Mrs. Whiting, but it's not too important. I'll stop by later.
No, we shouldn't ask you to make 2 trips. I'll go up with you if that's all right.
Certainly.
Tom. Tom, wake up. This is the Marshal. He just wants to ask you a few questions. This is my husband, Mr. Whiting.
Howdy, Mr. Roberts.
Roberts?
That's right.
No, Ben, don't.
Just throw it down there.
You're awful fast with that.
Now, take it easy, both of you. I want to talk to you, but I want to keep it friendly.
Friendly?
There's no warrant for you in Arizona, Mr. Roberts. Dr. Goodfellow says you need a lot of rest and medical attention.
You mean you're not going to bother us?
Just one question. Any of your gang hanging around Tombstone?
No.
That's the truth, Marshal.
All right. You stay here as long as you need to. Hope that leg of yours doesn't give you too much trouble.
You're a new kind of John Law, seems to me.
Mr. Roberts, I'm not interested in scalp money. But if a Missouri sheriff, United States Marshal, comes along with a warrant for you, I'd have to help serve it. In the meantime, rest easy. You play it on the level with me, we'll get along fine.
Mr. Herb! Mr. Herb!
Yeah?
Mr. Herb, I just got a message for you from the Tombstone Bank. Mr. Kenton says there's a suspicious character hanging around.
Right. Excuse me, folks. Seems like we have a little bank trouble.
Jake Birch?
There's only one way to find out for sure.
Go right over there. That no-good thief. Just when we had everything fixed with the Marshal. Now he'll think we're lying to him. I better take a gun.
No. Just make sure it's Birch. There's easier ways to skin a cat.
Well, you better douse your bandage again. I'll be right back.
Excuse me, mister.
You calling me, Marshal?
Yeah, you're a stranger in town, aren't you?
That's right. There's no crime in that, is there?
Yeah, there might be. The bank doesn't like strangers hanging around its front door.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, Marshal. I'll be moving along.
Just a second. What's your name?
John Smith.
You have anything on you to prove that?
No, I don't believe I do.
Where's your horse?
Right over there. Would you like to see it?
Yes, Mr. Smith, I would like to see it. Buckshot dusted. Mr. Smith, take off that bedroll.
Take it off yourself.
I said take off your bedroll. Put it on the ground, open it up. What's that?
What?
What are you doing with the detailed map of Tombstone? Afraid you get lost?
Yeah.
Mr. Smith, you've done nothing that I can hold you for. You seen anything of Ben Roberts lately?
Roberts. Ben Roberts. No, I'm afraid I don't know any Ben Roberts, Marshal.
You know, you surprised me.
Oh, why's that?
I didn't think Roberts would let a clumsy fool like you case a bank. I'm going to give a description of you to all my deputies. Next time you're seen in town, you're going to get hurt. And by next time, I mean any time after 5 minutes from now. Move.
And it looked like the marshal had just ordered him out of town. I think we ought to turn Birch and his crowd in.
Show up their camp. That'd be going too easy on Jake. I ordered him to stay out of Tombstone, remember? Now, we're going to encourage Jake to go against that bank.
And then tell her.
Yeah. Earp will blast them all to little pieces.
What if he doesn't believe us?
Make him believe us. That's your job. Now, honey, I'm quitting. As soon as I'm well, we'll go to California.
Oh, darling. Oh.
We can't have Birch cashing in on my name, calling himself and his cheap outfit the Roberts Gang. You see why Earp has to wind him up for us, don't you? And go convince him.
Marshal Earp.
Yes?
I'd like to talk to you, please.
Won't you come in?
I don't like jails.
Well, I can understand that. Why don't you sit down, then?
No, thanks. I followed you and saw that man in front of the bank.
Oh? You, couldn't by any chance identify him?
He's Jacob Birch. A cheap stagecoach bandit. The only time he's gone against a bank, he made a mess of things. Killed a lot of people. Jake's gonna rob one of your banks. Maybe tomorrow.
Which one? The, Arizona bank or the Tombstone?
I don't know, but I'll find out.
And then you'll, tell me about it.
Yes, sometime tonight.
Why? Why would you tell me?
Because this isn't our idea. Ben's quitting the business. We're going to California as soon as he's well enough. Please, try to look at it our way. We don't want to get blamed for this. We'll never have a chance to make a life for ourselves with Jake Birch robbing banks and calling his crowd the Roberts Gang. Don't you believe me?
Well, Mrs. Roberts, it isn't too logical.
Look, what do we have to gain by telling you about Birch?
All right, let's leave it this way, then. You find out all you can about Mr. Birch's plan. I'll meet you at Dr. Goodfellow's office tonight.
Around 10 o'clock?
That'd be fine.
You still don't believe me. You better make up your mind to, because not believing me may cost a few lives. Maybe your own.
Oh, you're just talking to make noise, Jake. The truth is you're afraid to take that bank. I think maybe you're scared of Wyatt Earp.
That ain't the hitch, Joe.
Well, what is then?
Ben and Sadie Roberts.
Oh, now, Ben Roberts is laid up with a bad leg. And what do you figure Sadie can do?
She can use a gun. And so can Ben if he takes a notion to spoil our party. Oh, what do you say, boys? Think it's worth taking a risk?
Oh, it's just Sadie.
Hold him. We changed our mind, Jake. We want in on the bank job.
What bank job?
Don't play dumb with me. You cased the Tombstone Bank this morning. Ben was real sore when he heard about it. But then we got to thinking. Come into town on your own and you're in trouble. Use Ben's plan, and you'll get rich. What do you say, Jake?
Ben Roberts really knows how to take a bank.
All right, Sadie. You got something to offer, you're in.
For a fourth of what you take.
I say we deal.
All right.
Ben drew a diagram. Wrote it all down for you. I will use what Ben calls his covey of quail idea. You drift into town one by one just before daylight. You're there at 9 o'clock when the bank opens. Grab the money and scatter in the 6 different escape routes he put down here for you. Then you bunch up again at this camp. Divide the money, scatter again. Understand?
Wait. Why do we hit the Tombstone Bank?
Because Earp knows you cased it. He'll think you're bound to take the other one, the Arizona.
She's right, Jake.
Earp will be watching the other bank.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll smarten himself. All right, Sadie. We'll hit the Tombstone Bank 5 minutes after 9 in the morning.
Meet you here at noon for our share. Now, don't lose that. Any plan Ben thinks up is worth $5,000 cash before the vault doors even open.
So Earp will be watching the Arizona. Right around the corner from our mark. Boys, I'm making just one change in Ben's plan. Now, there'll be a crack shot on the roof of this building. Right here. We'll take care of Wyatt Earp before we hit the bank.
All the logic is against it. She and Ben just have to be the brains behind this whole thing. I'd be a fool to trust her. Wouldn't I?
Wouldn't you what?
Miss Sadie can't possibly be telling the truth.
Well, now, she might and she mightn't. If you want my advice, do what the cross-eyed tomcat did.
Oh, what's that?
Watch both rat holes. Divide your men between the Tombstone and the Arizona.
Yeah, well, that should be her.
Am I very late?
Oh, good evening, young lady.
Oh, hello, Dr. Goodfellow. Well, I went over the whole plan with Jake Birch, and he's going to hit the Tombstone Bank 5 after 9 in the morning.
Now, why would he do that? He knows that I know that he cased that bank.
So he figures you'll think he'll be the other one. I had a hard ride to get this, and I'm tired, and if you don't believe me, just say so.
I'm sorry, Miss Sadie.
Look, I've done all I can for you. Go ahead. Let Jake make a fool of you.
Now, hold on. Put this on your husband's leg. Keep the bandage moist with it.
Thank you.
You're no fool, but you keep on trying, and she'll be right yet.
Meaning what?
I think she's telling the truth.
She can't be. I checked both banks today. The Arizona has twice as much cash on hand as the other. Besides, Ben Roberts is never one to settle for half when he can get the whole thing.
Well, you can watch both rat holes.
No, I can't. With Doc Holliday and Shotgun out of town, I haven't got enough deputies. If I split my force, I'm giving Birch too much of an edge. Now, you just stick to doctoring and let me handle the bank robbers, huh? It'll be the Arizona Bank.
Marshal.
Remember, Mr. Gale, you give them the money, no resistance. I don't want any dead heroes. We'll catch them as they come out. Your safe open?
Yes, but don't you think I ought to close it? Maybe they'll be satisfied with the teller's money.
Well, they'll just make you open the safe. Now, you stick to the plan.
Well, just as you say.
shop's around the corner.
Let's get at it.
No shooting until Joe gets Herb. It's almost time now. Let's go inside and pretend we're going to deposit some of this money.
Check him out. Get in there. Get in there.
I owe you an apology.
No, you don't, Mr. Earp. I'm thankful that it turned out the way it did. Was that Jake Birch?
Yeah.
Who got him, you?
No, I think it was your husband.
Oh, no. What Dr. Goodfellow gave him strict orders not to get out of bed.
Well, now he can stay in bed and get well. You say for me that I'll be by to speak my thanks to both of you. I'll go ahead and say it. I picked the wrong bank.
Well, we can't be right all the time, any of us.
How bad is he?
Looks like it's mighty near the heart.
Can you save him?
If I can, I'm a great doctor. If I can't, he'll die. You can be right and get killed. You can be wrong and
get lucky. Well, let's see how we both come out.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be
আপনি কিন্তু দেখতে যথেষ্ট সুন্দরী একজন মানুষ, দেখতে বেশ রোমান্টিক, যেন শেক্সপিয়ারের নাটকের কোনো নায়িকার মতো। ভেবেছিলাম, কিন্তু আপনি তো পুরোটাই মর্মান্তিক। যে কোনো মানুষ আপনাকে দেখে মর্মাহত হতে পারে।
আমার হালকা হতে 1 মাস সময় লেগেছে।
আপনার 1 মাস সময় লাগে? আমার হালকা হতে তো 1 মিনিট লাগে।
আমার কাছে মনে হয় জীবনসঙ্গী এমন হওয়া উচিত যার সাথে আপনি প্রতিটা মুহূর্ত উপভোগ করতে পারবেন, সারাক্ষণ খুনসুটিতে মেতে থাকতে পারবেন এবং তার মনে এমনভাবে বসবাস করবেন যে আপনার দিকে সে একটাবার তাকালেই বলে দিতে পারবে যে তার বেঁচে থাকার কারণই আপনি।
পথে চলতে চলতে কথা বলতে বলতে কখন যেন হলে আমার
জানি গল্পে গল্পে মিশে অল্পে অল্পে আমিও হয়ে গেছি তোমার।
ছোট ছোট ভুল ফুটে হলো ফুল যে তোমাকে পেলাম,
গুটি গুটি পাই স্বপ্নের নাই আমি ভেসে গেলাম।
আপনি কি মনে করেছেন একজন মানুষ আমার জীবন থেকে চলে গিয়েছে এবং আপনি সেই সুযোগটা কাজে লাগিয়ে আপনার ফিলিংস গুলো আমার কাছে এক্সপ্রেস করবেন আর আমি সেটা হ্যাপিলি অ্যাকসেপ্ট করে নিব? এই হচ্ছে আপনার বন্ধুত্বের নমুনা?
রোদের পাখি তোর শহরে আমার মনের স্বপ্ন ঘিরে, ওরে পাখি ওরে সারাক্ষণ তোর শহরে বৃষ্টি হলে ভিজে আমার মন।
Hai trăm láp Nguyên perfect silent dạo em chợ sự nhà phía trước cho ngay cái có tài heo 210 láp 42 tỷ 2 triệu một lần có chờ nhầm ôi không còn 100 để bớt 6 15 chưa làm được sửa bên chỉ lính ấy bay một chỉ lính điên chương 8 này làm chi một cây đai máu nữa sử dụng làm cái giáp máu à đây hả một bên anh không muốn như em nghĩ phải đấy nhưng mà xếp sai bên khác xếp đúng bên là thắng đấy chị gặp đấy bú hai mạng nữa chỉ cái này 33 triệu start rồi tiền cả ấy chứ ngon vừa lên ra 8 mất và 8 đủ gì có ra xét này không muốn đâu cái này chọn hơn đấy ra xin ra rồi ngon này tôi xếp tiền lên 30 tiền nữa nhanh không ra vấn đề cái là xong giao chim rồi đủ tiền còn cái thằng nhảy đã gì đó quên sao được nó lại quay nhiều lên ngoài mắt ngoài thành thầm trong mắt rồi không biết không anh em tôi là cái người sao mà lắm mắt người coi sao về xuống và lắp con sinh ra và xong là 57 bình sinh con cái cả nào còn bà sinh viên cũng xanh rồi quỷ à bất thua thì ai cái đánh hay đấy
ভালোবাসা সুন্দর ভালোবাসাও সুন্দর মানুষ
নিজের অজান্তেই ভালোবেসে ফেলে।
আমারও মনে হয় কি জানেন, আপনার মতো জানাশোনা কাউকে না আমার বিয়ে করা উচিত।
এটা কি উপলক্ষে?
ম্যাডাম, ফুলটা গ্রহণ করুন, তারপরে বলতেছি।
ভোটার আইডি কার্ডে যার স্বাক্ষরের জায়গায় টিপসই দেয়, এখানে কেউ ডাক্তার।
এই দুইজনের মধ্যে যে আগে ম্যাডামের মন জয় করতে পারবে, ম্যাডাম তার।
একদিন না দেখলে তোমায় বন্ধু আন্ধার লাগে সব, তোমার এই প্রেমে এমনই টান।
রোগীদের তো ডক্টরের কাছে আসলে ব্যথা কমে যায়, আপনি তো উল্টো হলো কেন? আপনি কি একটু উল্টা?
তোমায় ছাড়িয়া যাব মরিয়া, তোমায় ছাড়িয়া যাব মরিয়া, যেও না বন্ধু আমার, ভুলিয়া ভুলিয়া।
আমার মনে হয় আমার সমস্যা কপালে। ম্যাডাম, আমার কপালে নেই, আমার কপালে আছে দাগ।
May mắn rồi nè, điện từ bao nhiêu quay được người không? Phải có may mắn cơ mới thích lâu lâu. Mình gọi là khỏe phết đùa. Không có Guardian Carry mà vẫn hold Guardian à? Thực sự là cầu nguyện không vậy? Thực sự là cầu nguyện ra Guardian không? Cái thằng lái xe này. Lái xe bay rồi, xe bay nhưng mà vẫn cần bánh. Sự nhót không? Nhót đó. Mày nhót không? Ui Galio rồi, what the hell. Ui nói ở kia thì không có tầm. Chơi Galio rồi, để Galio ngoài. Chưa cần lắm. Cũng xịn đấy, nhưng mà thiếu xe lát, nhận được xe lát nữa là xong. Perfect tiếp à. Thêm nữa không? One more. Ê, 135 xuống 126 nhỉ? Nó reset. One more này. One more. One ai không được. One more. Không one more à? Quả đấy, đây, để one more. Two more. Hãy Siba Sikira. Nope. Mày bay 54 à? Thực sự là 5 củ ấy, nên là 50%. Quay đều. Cái gì đấy? Không skip được, quên mất. Có thể về qua kia thì bay thì kiếm tiền G-Bus. Quá mạnh. Ra một tuổi mà rồi lên go 4, cứ chỉ go 4 cho tôi vậy, chôn tôi à? Vẫn thắng à? Sự bay là tỷ vong. Anh ác quỷ rồi, hóa ác quỷ rồi. Từ ngày em đi anh hóa thành ác quỷ Ride a Car Simulator. 22 củ à? Anh sẽ bay được tầm 400 củ, 450 thì mới lên cấp tiếp theo được. Sợ bình chỉ linh ấy. Nhanh mà nhẹn, ui bay nhanh đét, tốc độ sự vua. Tốc độ sử dụng một đẳng cấp Pro VIP. Chuẩn không vậy? Thắng là không vậy? Rồi, còn mỗi con cho gát sẽ làm chi? Còn mỗi cho gát làm chi? Cho gát 2 mũ thích nghi à? Làm chi? Ui, thổi đau phết, đùa. Ê, nó thắng được cái cút đấy. Ê, nó thổi chết Zone này. Không chết được. Có 2 cái mũ kia đéo chết được. 2 mũ đấy chỉ là kích thêm sát thương phép. Xong rồi. Quả chém mới là của mình rồi. Chắn luôn. Đi chợ. 100 máu bốc lửa. Đồ Johnny này. Johnny cái cục đấy sự xịn không? Ban la chắn à. Đồ cổ này. 15% hút báo chủ sở hữu đồng minh được đấy. Cái ui mất lắc rồi. Còn những cục kia, còn cục vàng. Lấy một cục vàng đi. Rồi, chạy lấy cái này. Ha, sorry. Mày bay cao. Một lần bay được tầm 40 triệu.
তোমাকে 15 লাখ টাকাই দিতে হবে। তুমি যদি দিতে না পারো তোমার বাবাকে কল দাও। তোমার যত জমি জিরাত বাড়িতে যা যা আছে এগুলো বেচা হইলেও তোমরা আমাদের টাকা পাই করে শোধ করবা।
একটা ব্যাপার কি খেয়াল করছো? শহরে কিন্তু দুইটা রূপ, রাতের এক রূপ, দিনের আর এক।
বেঁধেছি ঘর হৃদয়ের পর গাঢ় সবুজ ওই গহীন বনে।
আরে ব্রো, সবসময় চিল থাকতে হবে, কিচ্ছু মাথায় নেওয়া যাবে না।
ভালোবাসা হচ্ছে একজন আরেকজনের উপর ভরসা করে, একজন আরেকজনের হাতের উপর হাত রেখে এই জীবনটা কাটিয়ে দেয়। কিছু মানুষ এই রাত জেগে থাকে আর টাকার বিনিময়ে সুখ খোঁজে। বসুন।
এখন তো সিরিয়াস হওয়া উচিত, তাই না? আমি তো কোথাও যাচ্ছি না পার্টি করতে। তুমি কেন যাচ্ছ? কেন বন্ধ করতে পারতেছো না বলো তো? কার যে কোথায় সুখ সেটা তার প্রিয় মানুষটাও কখনো জানতে পারে না।
পাশাপাশি তবু যাচ্ছি বিপরীতে, কাছাকাছি তবু যাচ্ছি বহু দূরে।
হাই, ইউ লুক গুড।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
Như phi công vậy. Ok, bay tiếp, bay cao. Thu rồi sao nhỉ? Thu rồi sao ấy? Rồi. Thằng Zena bắn đau lắm, Zena 2 đồ rồi. Chịu. Zena Sojin mấy cả cuồng đao đấy hiểu. Vội vậy chồng. 6.8 à, vậy sẽ lên 7. Ok. Thằng nào phải đắp cho thờ red mà. Thôi đừng nói chung với nhau đây. Mèo 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 mèo. Trốn mày trốn. 5 địch mạnh nghe, lắp phần này vào xong mạnh địch từ cái xếp tiền nhé, thề thua cũng được không nào. Bắn cũng khỏe nhưng mà chúng nó còn quỷ hơn cơ. Nếu sao gian là 2 đồ đéo chịu được. Quỷ đó chịu. Sùng bài không vậy? Kiếm tiền. Tiến kiềm 138 m, sự là nhiều ấy. Không bay nữa thì thôi. Máy đẹp đét 400 mà. 2 này. 303. Thử để mình nghĩ chợ hay sao? Chưa đến lượt 4 này. 117 à? Sẽ là một cái Sojin đi. Ok, quyết định. Sẽ lấy một cái Sojin đi. I'm go here. 707 triệu sẽ được lên 6.8. Tốc độ sẽ là mắc ping không? Quỷ ác quỷ phi phai. Tốc độ bù đắc bù nào nào. Mỗi là ngày có một chút game thôi chứ. Là ngày rebirth 163 lần. Kê vậy. Sojin thì con này hợp lý hơn này. Nhanh này là con bên kia nhưng mà đợi đồ bình tĩnh. Vội vãi. Xe hấp đủ rồi hả? 46 à? Đấy nó chỉnh cài nhót. 2 giờ 208. Gì 4 giờ đi học. Chuẩn không? Mai học xong nhớ làm gì? Đi tập. Tài môn tự sản. Tối tập tiếp. Trốn không? Nhiều đi quá này, ngon.
দরকার পড়লে একটা রিকশাওয়ালাকে বিয়ে করবো, তারপরে তোকে বিয়ে করতে
তুমি
না।
যদি মরে যাও আমি তোমাকেই বিয়ে করব।
দেখো দেখো বিয়ে এত সোজা
আমার 5টা কন্ডিশন।
কয়টা?
5টা।
আমি সিআইডি সাফায়েত রমরাজন। স্যার এটা তো ভোটার আইডি কার্ড স্যার।
বাড়িতেই করবেন নাকি হোটেলে?
না না, আপনি যেমনটা ভাবছেন বিষয়টা তা না। ভাই আপনি তো করবেন।
তোমাকে দিয়ে হবে না, আমি জানতাম। শুধু শুধু সময় নষ্ট করো না।
ভাই আপনি তো অনন্ত দলিল না যে অসম্ভবকে সম্ভব করে আপনার কাজ।
জিমি জিমি জিমি
কি হচ্ছে?
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা আচ্ছা
আঙ্গের একদম বইরা দিমু। যাচ্ছে সব বাইট কর।
শর্ত দিয়ে বিয়ে শর্ত দিয়ে বিয়ে
ভাই যে বয়সে মানুষ গার্লফ্রেন্ডের কামড় খায় সে বয়সে আপনি কুত্তার কামড় খেয়ে হাসপাতালে ভর্তি হয়েছেন।
Quan đi á là chuẩn làm luôn ra sữa binh binh ấy, Michelin. Nếu ăn được này, giơ tay, chả non broccoli, chả hỗ trợ trong 3 vòng đấu, tôi cho chọn không? Đây. Làm xếp chung à? Chỉ làm dân chơi, làm dân chơi. Chỉ cho. Lắc đầu. Đây. Đây như fan màu mình phải biết. Và biết là tỏ hết. Chuẩn, phát tế chiếm của. Yes. What the hell? Mưa hòm này. Sợ. Sau này rồi. Nhiều bỏ lắm. Thực là dân chơi, thắng à? Người thắng à? Yes. Tao trước cũng là bạn xong nó chơi với quan tâm nhất, thế nên tao cũng đá nó ra đảo. Nó ác. Best not san tại sao một cục lâu về broccoli tỷ vàng nếu nhặt mình bet nhặt vàng đi thì sao biết thấy nữa. 3 thần thắng nữa là xong. Mà ly xin 2 kìa buộc lùi ơi. Sự căng căng ấy, xin 2 căng căng đấy. Xin 2 kia là khó đấy, xin 2 đi rê rồi 6 xong đấu rồi khó đấy. Vào mà, xong đấu rồi khó đấy. Bây giờ không ai không phải hoàn thiện bộ bài 3 sao phải cái. Đủ tiền chưa vậy? 2 tỷ 3. 99%. 99% của anh em CK. Không có gì sai. Khỏi gặp, khỏi khó chịu. Là lời mới những cái sót để sau đó chúng tiếp tục chạy. Số gì này? Khỏi sau đây lại nhà mất rồi. Đâu, đây. Nó phải làm như bố. Sao này? Hiểu. Chỗ muốn lắc ấy. Lắc 3. Lắc 3 mu 3 này. Lao 3 này. Viên là 3 đúng không? 3 6 máu 2 rau. Xong nhót. Nóng lắc kìa. Nó không có giảm heal chứ. Mình nếu có giảm. Bây giờ mới có giảm heal ở trên. Nó đâu có giảm kháng phép. Mình giảm kháng phép. Sự căng căng ấy, đây là một cái sự đấu chết đấy. Phong phát cần chết con ấy. Rồi thắng được. À không, con Agadio sử dụng kinh ấy. Agadio cút rồi. Lắc quang. Cút không chết à? Lắc quang. À, biết ngay mà. Cái con kêu đéo chết lá rồi. Luộc lùi à. Mua con A nữa. Được. Nhọt. Không biết đánh với ai luôn. Thôi, sang pizza đi. Pizza. Last match for me broccoli ơi. 2,3 tuổi. Re-auto, sữa binh chilling. Quỷ ác, quỷ phi phai. Thì chết à? Trứng nổi trong một round thắng luôn. Đéo gần đi nữa. Nếu biết nổ ra cái gì, mau nổ ra một tí cái bốc đồ xong, phun đồ. Bài khỏe đấy. Đứa nhỏ học bài khỏe đi hết. Amu chưa 3 hỏng thôi. Amu trước Amu 2 đồ one sự kinh cơ. Amu này cũng có khó đấy. May mà xếp chéo carry nhé. Không xếp chéo carry chắc là thịt cút rồi. Rồi, hay thắng cút. Ô, trời ơi thằng bà sẽ chết. Càng ấy càng bà cút mày. Bà đi còn đi ra hai đầu. Cái ra sấy. Mày đi. Bye bye. Rồi đổ trứng. Xong. Lại farm tiền à, lại farm tiền rebirth à. Farm tiền rebirth hay broccoli ơi. Rebirth này hết 30k vừa sẽ đắt đấy. Đây phải farm thêm nhiều. Baby anh xin lỗi. Giấc mơ với chồng. Farm một broccoli. Với chôn à. Mày ta là sai sao gặp nhau chuẩn không? Sao gặp nhau chuẩn không? Ui gì à gì rồi thêm một cái để chỗ 1 tỷ vàng à? Được không? Rồi sao này là pháp sư đi xích sàn nữa xong nếu anh nhớ không nhớ em thích ăn dầu cận cái nhà quản lý săn nữa xong rồi tất cả gần như là đều 3 giờ sẽ in lao 3 nhé đẹp đéo làm gì nào làm gì này rồi thêm gì rồi thằng nào đây đấy thằng xét ạ xét 3 đồ ạ kinh ấy xét 3 đồ á nó lỗ 1 tỷ vàng với cả cái ấp chết làm chi vậy ổ ngu đấy đéo mày dạy lỗ hũ đấy leo rồi lấy trứng trứng thối à what the hell thua rồi thắng giờ thắng rồi rồi điều lần đi giờ biết ta lỗ trứng ra cái gì không lỗ trứng là cái bị chiến thuật mới gặp 1 tỷ vàng nhớ về làm gì hả trứng rồng chơi búa 2 cá ăn ở ông ruột lui tháng này nữa là nhót ui D2 đi D2 D2 ạ khỏe đấy gần lắm không đối carry vào chứ làm sao anh tin là mình có thể làm được nhé rồi xong chết con đấy rồi thằng bóng rồi thằng bóng còn anh rồi trừ một thằng thằng không trừ à nice nhà tới không có cao đi chơi là giờ gặp mặt đâu cần qua thì họ không chỉ một tâm đầu vậy đâu chuẩn không sao bên này ok broccoli sự chôn vì làm farm minh ấy mình sự là một A anh ấy bị đục lỗ ở người nên phải biến thành robot thân trên robot à Pacific chưa đi Lào Ba sinh nhật tôi nhá số thứ nghĩ về 2 4 5 2 thiếu một pháp sư ấy